I think, some of the progress we've made hasn't showed up on the scoreboard, but I think we have made progress from, if you go back and look at TCU, moving on to Charlotte, moving on to Richmond, UCF, and now, Clemson. I think we've made progress. It doesn't always show up on the scoreboard, but we've made progress in different areas, and we just need to continue to stay where our feet are and get better each and every day, and eventually we'll get the results that we want.
Yeah, specifically, what are some of those areas you've seen progress over the last few weeks?
I think the communication's gotten better from the standpoint of the quarterback to the line to the backs, the receivers to the quarterback. There's communication all over the field that happens every play. I think that communication's gotten better, definitely, which increases your chances to be successful in individual play. And then you string enough of those together and you get success. And it really can, you can cut this thing down into drives or plays or whatever, but each and every play is its own entity and has a different set of problems or a different set of communication rules and things like that, and then you get that going. But if you have a misstep along the way, that's how you get sometimes bogged down and don't have the result that you want.
Front row on the right.
Hey, Freddie, Can you just sort of break down for us over what you've seen the first 5 games between Max and then Gio specifically?
Yeah, I think, both those guys offer leadership abilities, capabilities. They've both made plays in different parts and all that sort of thing. I like being around both those guys. They bring a little bit different aspects to the game from their perspective, and but both of them kind of stayed the course and understand that they're trying to get better each and every day, and they've done a really good job of that.
On their play specifically on the field, what sort of difference have you seen in it? Because I know there's some uncertainty still with Gio's ability or his health and those kinds of things.
Yeah, I think you evaluate once they're on the field, you evaluate it moving forward and stuff like that. But both those guys have had ups and downs. They'd be the first to tell you that. And it's just like offensively, we just need to be more consistent along the way, and I'd say they say the same thing, both of them.
Front row on the left.
Yeah, Jeremiah Hallway with
Jeremiah.
Ask you about the run game. Of course, Lamont June had shown a lot of flashes out of the depth chart. I know Benjamin Hall, they kind of split the carries every day, or a couple weeks ago against Clemson.
Right.
Where do you kind of see that room right now? And I guess from a productivity standpoint, what are some things that you kind of see that you look at and you say, maybe this can change, just kind of get more, yards per carry potentially?
Yeah, I think first of all, I really like the room. I think we're very versatile in that room. We got a couple guys that offer different strengths and weaknesses and things like that. And secondly, I like the room because they work their tail off each and every day. As far as getting more yards per carry, it's just like it's a microcosm of everything else. Everybody needs to do their job just a little bit better, communicate just a little bit better. And they would be the first to say that they need to do their job just a little bit better. So I need to do my job better. Everybody needs to do their job just a little bit better each and every day, and then you'll start seeing the results. Like we want to see the results on the scoreboard, you'll start seeing results on yards per carry if that's what your main goal is.
Yeah, and to follow up on that with June and with Hall, how do you kind of see their games, I guess, kind of complementing each other, since they kind of have been, I guess, getting similar looks, how do you kind of see their games complementing?
I think, that's a good question. Juju's still a freshman, so he hasn't seen he hadn't been to many circuses and fairs that Ben's been to, and he's seen a little bit more. So just the experience aspect, I think, gives Ben some different aspects in the protections and run keys and things like that Juju has.
Front row, far left out.
Freddie, Adam Smith in South Carolina. People aren't happy about the production on offense, obviously. I know you know that. To what extent have you all talked about, looked at, thought about changing who's calling the plays offensively?
That's never been brought up, never been discussed. But I think we always look to see how we can get better each and every day that we go out to practice, and each day each game day and all that kind of stuff. We come out and reevaluate things and go from there. So there's of course things I could have done better. I think we can say that all the way down the line, but sometimes you just got to keep your head down and go to work and try to get better.
Front row on the right here, quick.
Hey, Coach Grant Sasser, Trojans on the side. Speaking of the offensive line, protection and run blocking has been inconsistent throughout the season. How much of that has been to try and find the right pieces to put on the offensive line as well as the injuries throughout the year?
Well, I mean, that's always the case every year. You deal with injuries and things like that. You make the best of the situation that you have. But, when you start talking about the game of football with 11 people having to be on the same page, communicate on every play, of course it starts up front, but it also has to do with other positions as well. So everybody has a hand in all the problems. But here's the beauty of football is we're all problem solvers. So we each and every day, each and every week try to solve the problems that present itself. And, those guys want to be more consistent, just like I want to be more consistent, just like running backs want to be more. Everybody wants to be more consistent. Now it's just a matter of doing it.
Second row.
Freddie, Brian Murphy, WRL. You're the only holdover on the staff between last year and this year, and I wondered if you could talk to the implementation of Bill's culture to the guys who were here under Mac, very different leadership style, it seems, and if that's caused any friction between the Mac holdover guys and the guys that have come in.
Yeah, I don't see that from that standpoint. What I see is a bunch of guys trying to come together and be one team, and I've seen that from the very beginning. And they're working hard at doing that, and they've gotten better at that, and they've increased that. But I think everybody here tries to work hard and tries to do the right thing.
Is there a giant culture shift between the way Mac Brown ran the program and the way Bill's run the program?
I think you've got you're talking about totally different people there. Just like I'm pretty sure my coaching style is not like a lot of people's coaching styles. So I don't want to get into like a comparison or anything like that. Of course they're different people. They've had different experiences, but both of them's very successful. So I try to learn from everybody I coach for, and I've been very fortunate to have been coached underneath both those guys.
Right next.
Shelby Swanson with the News and Observer, just following up on that again as one of the holdovers. More recently, Lombardi and Belichick have talked a lot about they were kind of late coming here, right, to the winter portal, obviously new to the whole portal kind of offseason recruiting thing. What role specifically did you play as one of the holdovers in kind of building this roster or seeing it out?
Yeah, I think as a coach, you kind of I don't know really what are you asking? I'm sorry.
Yeah, just like what was your role in terms of kind of helping them and maybe navigating some of the portal or just building the roster maybe on the offensive side, I guess?
I think that goes from player to player, position to position, whatever. As coaches, we're asked to evaluate guys sometimes, and I really don't know how to answer that question from the standpoint of, no offense, but from the standpoint of when I'm asked to evaluate somebody, I evaluate them. And of course, I was one of the first guys here to get things started, but we were preparing for the bowl game as well. So it's kind of one of those things where whatever you're asked to do at that moment, you kind of do. And so hopefully that answers your question. It probably doesn't, but
All right, thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.